Hello, everybody. Let's start with some music like I would when we were doing the live streams. How about, should I just do a quick Pink Floyd? Floating down through the clouds. Memories come rushing up to meet me now. But in the space between the heavens and the corner of some foreign field, I had a dream, a place to stay, enough to eat, somewhere old heroes shuffle safely down the street, where you can speak out loud about your doubt and fear. And what's more, no one ever disappears. You never hear their standard issue kicking in your door. You can relax on both sides of the tracks, and maniacs don't blow holes in bandsmen by remote control. And everyone has recourse to the law, and no one kills the children anymore. No one kills the children anymore. Night after night, going round and round my brain. The dream is driving me insane. In the corner. Oh, you can hear my kids. All right. Hi, everybody. Let's do a stream today. I want to show you guys that happy cows make happy milk. I also want to talk about some other fun stuff. I haven't labeled this one yet. Dante's lowest layer of hell. My tooth. The role of Decay. I'll fill you in on my tooth. So I went to the dentist yesterday because my wife insisted on it. The pain, I've had pain in that tooth right here for 15 years. I lost a filling. I didn't even realize it. I found this out at the dentist yesterday. So, and it's been sensitive. I just eat in this side of my mouth for a decade. I just accepted it. The pain to go in and out. I just didn't care. So it got to the point where the pain was insane. I was using honey to relieve the pain. I was trying to get through it the natural way, but sometimes you need Babylon to fix Babylon. You know, I recommend just not getting fillings or just eating really naturally, using natural remedies. But, you know, I got fillings in my mouth. Fortunately, they're not heavy metal. They're, what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. I asked about them yesterday. What is it called? Porcelain or something? I don't know. But so I guess my filling had fallen out, and so my tooth had decayed in that area all the way to where the nerve was exposed. Like it was like the nerve was like right there, just like ah. And I know, and so I ended up getting a root canal, which is going to spiral people. Yeah, I've also seen that documentary. Okay, I get it. My dad's had 10 root canals. My mom's had 2. My wife's had a root canal. I get the argument why they're bad. People say that you leave a dead tooth and it festers and it's bad for your heart and all that. Maybe it was some people. It was how I saved my tooth. They could either pull the tooth, but my tooth wasn't dead. It still had, the root was alive and all that stuff. So we cleaned out the decay, filled it, sealed it. And I feel the best I've felt in years because the pain is finally gone. So yeah, that's was my story. And I know I'll get emails like, you're going to die, Big Bear, with the root canal. Dude, you do what you want, but people got to stop spiraling about every single thing in Western medicine, because back in the day, people died a lot more and people were very unhealthy. There was the natural healthy world. I get it. I'm an organic farmer. I get it. But my father, his mom, dad, and brother all had false teeth by 16. Little known fact, the nutrition inside Babylon used to be worse, you know, especially right after the Industrial Revolution in a lot of these cities. They had no teeth by 16. You know, the dentist would just yank them all out. And my dad saw how bad that was, like how hard it was to deal with those type of dentures back then. So he did everything he could to keep all his teeth. So he had 10 root canals. He still has his teeth. Caused him a lot of problems, but whatever. You know, I think a lot of it has to do with stress, all kinds of factors. I don't know. I'm not a dentist. And, you know, so how do I finish this thought? So it's not ideal to ever get cavities filled, especially with the stuff they put in the crowns and whatnot. But that being said, when you're in excruciating 1 hour of sleep causes depression type of tooth pain, which is mind blowing. Like, I'm not trying to like, you know, brag here or anything, but I think I had some of the worst tooth pain like ever. You know, the dentist was like, this is crazy. Like my nerve was right there and it was just like, ah! And so you want to get rid of that. You want to, if you can do that in a non-opioid based way, you know, it's great. I feel awesome. And I got to keep my tooth. I got to keep the root. It's still alive. And yeah, no more pain. It's awesome. All right, so one of my buddies keeps texting me, Kevin, who I'm training with. It's starting to work. My body's starting to feel awake. Like I haven't lost weight, but my body's waking up. I'm feeling energy. I'm feeling like my cow Dandy. Check this out. This is how I've been feeling lately. Just like a giant, but like springy.
Hey, Dandy. What's up, girl? You want to play with your friends? Yeah, Dandy. What's up, Mama? Great milk this morning. You want to play with the goats? All right, guys, you can all hang out if you want. Come on, Dandy, come on inside. Go inside, go inside.
It's like the first day of school for Shy Dandy. There goes Dandy Pants.
Look at that happy girl.
So happy cows make happy milk, and we have a happy cow. And so I like to give her a field trip, no pun intended, Coddington dirt buckets, and let her go into other fields. I do that with some of the animals, as long as the males don't get with the females, if you know what I'm saying. And they get really happy by it, and they get real springy. So I feel kind of like Dandy. Like, you know, she's 1,100 pounds. I'm like 6'8", 280. So we both have a lot of meat on us, but we're starting to feel a little prancy. Here's some more of Dandy prancing, because I know it will heal the world. Here we go.
You all set, Dandy?
The alpacas are like, you're a fat alpaca, aren't you? The alpacas are like, is she getting all the food?
What's up, Mama Cow? Hi, girl.
Look at how happy that cow is. There's a board there so that the goats don't always go underneath the fence. I just didn't feel like setting it. Because when the goats are small, they can get under fences. So I'm just literally waiting for them to get bigger so I can just take the board off. That's why I keep feeding them. So that leads to stuff like this. Like the people always, like one of my friends is fascinated by how many eggs we get. He's like, what do you do with all those eggs? Quiche. Look at how golden that is. You know, we made fresh butter this morning. Just absolutely incredible stuff. And so happy cows make happy milk. Happy milk make happy kids. And big fat dads. But I'm like a healthy fat, but I'm working on it. I'm like moving the mace around. I'm doing mace training. You know, mace, dude, just like pet the cat, pet the cat, pet the cat. The way you do a mace is you go like this with this hand. It falls behind you. It naturally swings. Woo, pull this hand down. You can swing a 25-pound mace, and it literally feels like flowing water. I finally understand how little, like not little, but dudes like William Wallace had these 40-pound longswords because you're letting the sword dance. And it's really fun. It's really fun. All right, so here's something funny from Trey and Matt Stone from way back in the day. All right, this just made me laugh. I don't know. Maybe it'll make you laugh.
You know, a lot of people have accused South Park of anti-Semitism, but I am Jewish and proud of my heritage, and so I can say with some certainty that I am not anti-Semitic. I am, however.
I think they're set up because Trey Parker wrote most of South Park. I think he was like, if I get a Jew, they can't criticize me for what I'm about to say. So, Tyler Goldstein, I have a job opening for you. You guys get it. All right. This was the moment I realized what wizards were. It wasn't that long ago, guys. This is like, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. Watch this.
You ever think about wizardry? Like, he says words and, like, people do crazy shit.
That was it. I was like, whoa, wizards are real. All right, what else do I got for you guys? Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte and his entire cabinet resign over child welfare scandal. Okay, by the way, guys, so basically they were like defrauding children out of money, or I don't know. Guys, the entire thing is a moral decay. Just like my tooth was decaying, every institution we're currently seeing failing is about moral decay. A country that has women standing in shop windows to... I'm going to actually work on being clean, because when I come back to DLive, my first hour is going to be clean, and then later, when we make fun of the Grambler and all that, we're going to do it at Unauthorized and BitChute. So legalized, I don't have to detail what they do. You know, this is my internal thinking now, where, because everything's a blessing. DLive said they're not going to monetize anything that is X-rated or whatever, and we always do that X-rated thing because it's for 18 and over, like, because I talk about, you know, profane things. Profane. Vulgar. Vulgar means vulgate. It's of the people. Unbelievable. But I see it as a challenge and a blessing, just like everything. So I'm going to figure out how to be clean. Finally. I've been wanting to for a long time, but I want to see if I can be all ages. And then we do other streams where we make fun of grabblers. And I make fun of people for SQUIRTING all over themselves. All right. So anyway, if you have a country that puts women in shop windows to do things to men's genitalia for money, you're already done. It's just when. It's just how. It's just like when, like, it's already over for you. You can't have a better... you can't have a government fix a bad people. If the people accept legalized prostitution, it doesn't matter what government you have. That's the problem with Hitler. That was the problem with Trump. Oh, he compared Hitler to... I do, but not in the way most people do, but I do. It's like saying, I'm going to make Germany great again. I'm going to make America great again. And you don't have to do anything, patriots. You just sit back and oil your guns, and I'll give you the go, and we're going to make everybody moral and good again. No, that isn't how it works. The system doesn't really do anything. They're managers. They're like bean counters. They're you know, like one of the Rothschilds just died of a heart attack today at like 50. Okay. I'm not alleging. I'm not even alleging. But it's like those people can't create. They're vacated. They're hollowed out like my tooth. My tooth, the filling fell out, which is basically God. I don't want to demean God in this weird metaphor. Okay, moral codes. And so my tooth over time, because it didn't have that protection of the morality of the people, started decaying until it hit the nerve. When it hit the nerve, it starts getting very painful, and you have to fix it somehow. And you fix it by filling in that decay, and you do it with morality. And it's the same with, Weimar Germany after World War I, when they realized how duped they were. Duped. And dude, a lot of people wanted to go shoot people to death. You know, I can talk all day long about how shame was used to get people into the military and how awful it was that they did that to our boys and all that. A lot of dudes also are like, I'm going to go shoot some Germans. I'm going to go shoot some Brits. I'm going to go shoot some Krauts. They loved it. You know, and then they saw Verdun and they didn't love it, but a lot of them were enthusiastic about killing strangers. And so, like, when that was over, when the dust settled of the war to end all wars, which was penned by Bernays, a little trickster. No, I'm not being anti-Semitic. He's not a godly man. And Semites are actually Arabs. So being anti-Semitic means against Arab. So actually, the Pompeo trying to bomb Iran again is very anti-Semitic because actually Iran is Persian. I don't know. I shouldn't riff when I'm riffing right now. I'm going off book. All right. So anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So the society became very morally decayed. You had people missing faces and hands, just groping at trannies and porn on the street, you know. And so in comes in Mean Mr. Mustache, who says, I have a struggle. I was also World War I. I was also one of you. And everyone's like, yeah, no way. Life sucks now. What's going on? And he's like, dude, it's because of those guys. They're the ones infecting you. Do you think Jews were invented in 1925, 28, 1930? Is that when Jews just sprang on the scene? Or had they been here for thousands of years? You know, it's not, you can't say the reason you're watching tranny porn, Alex Jones, is because of Jews. It's because of you. And when you disengage and have a cleaner internal world, your life looks more like that, like quiche and milk and a prancing cow, and a lot less like gross. It's like whatever you engage with. And so that's why the similarity between Trump and Hitler was empty promises, by saying, I'm going to make, you know, and then you see a little blip of it. You know, you see like Hitler cleaning up the streets and you know, making like the youth are all like healthy and blue eyed and everybody's like having picnics and it looks like it's going great. It's window dressing. If you don't accept, if you're doing it because a guy in a mustache is telling you to do it, not God, it's going to fall apart. If you're thinking America's great again because an orange-faced man is telling you that and not because you're doing it, you're not going to have a very good time when it falls apart. And fortunately, 2021 is very, you know, there's been quantum shifts where it's not bloody like it was in the 30s and 40s, where when the scam has been revealed and when people realize what they just got sold a fake bill of goods, you know, now we're seeing internet censorship and like, I don't know, people calling you names and stuff. You're not allowed to go to government indoctrination camps anymore. You know, they may keep the vaccine from you. Ooh, patriots. Ooh, watch out. You're not allowed to work a job anymore in which there's already no money for pensions. That's why they're doing all of it anyway. It's the same reason they did that in Germany. There was a consolidation of wealth because it was collapsing, and so they needed a narrative. Ta-da! Okay, so the good news is, don't be surprised when you see like, oh, all of the Dutch government is immoral. Yeah, the Dutch people are immoral. The Dutch people are immoral. That's why they're meat puppets. That's why, you know, you throw some wooden shoes on them and a mask on their face and they'll sell their daughter for sex. Ta-da! The government represents the morality of the people. And even if you think that there's, Putin's crypto, he's this, he's that, he can only go as far as the people let him. That's why he appears, from my point of view, to be a good leader, because the people won't accept more. Because they're like, Russia has a higher morality of its people than America. And so that's why they're like not facing the same things as America. America has some incredibly high morality people, some high charity people, high trust people, but it's so big and bloated and urban now that those people really outweigh the rural, and you don't need them on your side. Like, you know, the NRA is declaring bankruptcy and a bunch of patriots are squirting and freaking out. The NRA, those executives were making millions of dollars a year. Like, it was incredibly corrupt. The reality is states that don't like guns are going to get more dystopian. California, New York, those type of places. And places like Idaho, Missouri, Wyoming, Montana, they're going to get more pro-gun because you're going to see the wolf at your door more clearly. You know, you're not going to rely on the NRA to help you and say, oh, we'll just go down to 20 rounds in the mag. How many rounds do you need to kill a deer? As Cuomo once famously said, you don't need more than 10 bullets to kill a deer. It's not about killing deers, pal. It's about shooting whatever the hell we want. What if we just want to shoot at the target range and have 100 rounds? Who the hell are you to tell me not to? And you can only talk that way when you're moral. Look around. Where are people lying and watching porn and not having families? Those places are going to collapse. The only fabric, the algorithm of the tree of life that grows branches, that grow branches, that grow branches, it's all based on morality. All of it. It's all based on doing the right thing. It's all based on not lying, You know, and if you look, and this is none of this is new. Look at Dante's Inferno, the layers of hell. So you got limbo, lust, which is, you know, as far as the sins go, it's one of the least gratuitous, even though it seems so gratuitous. It's a way to weaken you to get you to the other layers. Like lust, like wanting to, you know what you people are doing. That's some of the, and I agree with Dante completely. That's some of the least evil and the most just animal, where it's a doorway. You know, it's like alcoholism or, you know, drinking too much or all that stuff. It's a doorway to something much worse, is why it is a sin. It's missing the mark. But wanting to fuck isn't on the same level as, we'll get to some more. So lust for, you know, if you're a man, lust for a woman, or if you're a woman, lust for a man is very low on the sin. You're pretty high. You're pretty away from the ice in hell there, but it's a way to descend. And then you get to gluttony. You know, that's a little worse. And then you get to greed. And then you get to anger. That's where we are now, I think. Well, I mean, heresy, there's that. But anger is where people are now. You know, they're past lust and they're past greed. You know, people, for a long time, the lust is what's got them. The 80s pumping, disco, pumpy, squirty, squirty, you know. I'll be cleaner when I go back to DLive. But that was opening the door. Now it's like anger. It's like, who's the bad man? That's why I keep trying to break the Jew spell. It's not the Jews. They're penny counters, bean pushers, which will probably offend the Jews anyway. But not all of them. A lot of them aren't. But as a culture, that's kind of what they do. And it doesn't actually do anything to you. Like, they're not actively trying to hurt you. They're managing people. They're the managers of people. And as a manager of people, I'm also a manager of people. I have a lot of bears and a lot of stuff going on and a lot of people that I'm trying to, like a good shepherd, do a good job and make sure they're getting like the stream every day and that they have access to like social media and all this stuff. And so I understand what management is. I get it. They're doing it in a different way. They're more managing the sins of people, and I'm trying to manage the fruit. To like not manage, but you know what I mean. And I'm not even a manager. I'm a comedian, but it's like, I get what it is. It's just management. It's like, okay, if 2% of the population grows their own food, Bill Gates has to buy 200,000 acres of land and make like fake, disgusting food or else you're not going to be able to afford food. That's a reality. Why do you think I tell everyone to homestead? And you can do it in 1/8 of an acre, guys. 1/8 of an acre. It's like the food you get in supermarkets isn't going to poison you. It's like the root canal isn't going to kill you. It's all a combination of stuff. It's all like builds on each other. It's like if you're already sick and frail, GMO foods might be the thing that gives you cancer or something. Or if you're already, if your mouth is full of rot and you like, I don't know. You guys get what I'm saying. So it's all a combination. So don't. And fear is one of the worst things you can have. Fear and anger, I think, are very linked. So anyway, you have anger, and that's like turning on each other, like looking at your neighbor, like it's the left, it's that guy, it's the right, it's the up, it's the down. And then you have heresy, obviously. And then you have violence, and then you have fraud. Like what's it called? Betrayal is like the lowest. So when you have like fraud, and then the layer of greed, I have to relook at this. It's a little small for me. But the sodomites and the users are in the same level of hell, where it's trying to make something that is sterile fruitful, whether it's debt or an anus. It's taking something sterile and pretending it has fruit. Like the money doesn't actually have any fruit, and the anus doesn't have any children coming out of it. Neither does the mouth, titty bear. Hey, titty bear, neither does the mouth. The mouth is for food. The penis goes in the vagina. The food goes in the mouth. Never forget that. So there's that. This is what people should be focusing on now. And I know this for a fact. Believe me or not, I don't care. It's what I'm focusing on and my people. But what people think we need for a revolution, and you have a Molotov cocktail. What we really need for a revolution, you have fields of food. That's a fact. So if people are ever trying to draw you towards violence or draw you towards, and that doesn't mean self-protection is bad. Doesn't mean if someone, crosses a line of your personal or your family's physical sovereignty, you don't have the right to literally kill them. Yeah, of course you do. But that's not what people are fantasizing about. They're fantasizing about political violence or, disruptions or intimidation. That never goes well. Like what if you start this is what I kind of went into. I thought that was going to happen. I stocked up on bullets and all that, and it's good because bullets are now becoming more and more valuable. But not a lot, no armories or anything, just like a few, boxes of bullets. And the more I grow food and the more I grow community and the more I grow skills, the more I realize I don't really need it. It's like when I got out of debt and stopped watching pornography, I stopped caring about Jews. Because I didn't want what they had, Not all Jews. Some Jews don't sell pornography or loans. I know, dude, I know. But when I stopped watching the news, when I realized that my kids were never going to college, when I stopped watching pornography and when I stopped having loans, I no longer had any animosity towards Jews at all. And it was because it was my engagement with their merchant and drugs. And when I don't take drugs, when I stop drinking, for the most part, occasionally I'll have a cider. Just full disclosure. But I'm not recommending that, by the way, and I'm not justifying that. I just don't want to pretend to be someone I'm not. It occasionally happens. But when I stop drinking their booze or watching their pornos or taking their drugs or not that I had a drug problem, but I see people taking their drugs, their opioids. I no longer cared. I was like, oh, they just do what they do. Just say no to their shit. And that's it. And so if you grow your food, grow your community, grow your family, grow your skill set, they don't matter at all. They just manage the goyim. And there is goyim, guys. There's people that are chomping on buckets of fake food, watching pornos, and it's not the Jews' fault. It really isn't. It's at any time you can start weaning away from that. It might be, no, I only have $3 for my pornos. It's like, okay, man, listen, I'm saying this for the people that I know understand what I'm saying. And the people that don't, I highly recommend you don't attack the people that provide you with your addictions and your food because you can't take care of yourself. And I think that's usually what happened with work camps is when people refuse to work, refuse to be productive, refuse to take care of anything in their life, and they just want someone to pump them full of like penises and porn and KFC. Eventually, you're going to be sent to a camp. And it's like, it's not like you're going to be forced there. You're going to go there because you don't have any food and they're going to make you work. And then occasionally there's going to be typhus outbreaks and then the media is going to frame it like it was something else. Anyway, here's Joe the Toe Rogan posted this. Look, cool shot of Dave Chappelle's shadow backstage last night. Yeah, he looks like a whacking gremlin. That's not a cool shot of Dave Chappelle. He literally looks like Ira. Which one's this? Oh, this is interesting. Natural Light made the world's most expensive art exhibit and just $470 million worth of diplomas. I thought that was very interesting because diplomas are meaningless. Like I had a friend once who just pretended he went to an Ivy League school, got like a big corporate job and no one ever asked. Like he just photoshopped his name on something. I went to Harvard. I went to Yale. I went to Bard. No one cares. Like people will spend $250,000 on literally nothing. And also, I know electricians that make more than engineers. Electricians that spent $0 on their education, and they make more money than engineers that went to, MIT. It's like, it's literally a scam. All right, what do we got here? Rudy Giuliani claims the Groypers instigated the Capitol siege. Aren't you guys glad that I broke the Groyper spell? There were some people that were leaning towards Milker, and I know we lost some bears to the Milkers. And you know what? I support Nick Fuentes making his own live streaming site. That's exactly what the world needs more of. I want diversity. I don't want homogenous culture. And if it's an adult breastfeeder that calls himself a Groyper, so be it. I like that. I like that a lot. And no, he didn't start. If Rudy Giuliani is a mob adjacent lawyer, and if you are blaming an entire, like, one of the worst things that happened to you and your boss on a little kid who breastfeeds with his buddies and they pretend to be frogs, you're not a very powerful person. And I don't believe Nick Fuentes deserves, that level of criticism, I think, is absurd. But that's what happens when you join their narrative. I think that the narrative is trying to turn Nick Fuentes into the new David Duke. A guy who says, like, some true stuff and then also, like, instigates with the media constantly and says a lot of nonsense. And then they can always roll him out as the bad man. Notice how they don't do that with me these days, because I'm not engaging in their scripts. It's like, if that's why they try not to highlight that. Even DLive's ADL, thing that came out, they had a big picture of Fuentes, even though I was a higher earner than him. I was the highest earner at the time. And they had me in the article, but they didn't really focus on me, because if people come to my stream, they would be like, I like him. He's not scary at all. And then that doesn't work for the battery. It doesn't work for the pump. It doesn't work to get the people going, so they self-destruct and you take their wealth. You got to have the bad man. And so I think they're trying to get Nichols to play that part of, he'll probably get a doctorate. So people like Dr. David Duke, I don't like when people do that race stuff to instigate. Oh, you do it with the bike song. I'm a comedian. And it's really funny. And I'm not putting down David Duke. I have no real opinion on the guy. The one thing I agree with Vox Day on his status as a media whore, giving these interviews, feeding the narrative, like giving people exactly what they want, all these quotes and showing up and getting mad and, playing obviously unwinnable games. And so then they'll probably give little Nichols Fuentes a doctorate. So when someone goes, oh, Nick Fuentes is a racist, and someone will go, you mean Dr. Nick Fuentes? And everyone goes, oh, it's going to be really, really gay. Okay, so let's just watch how happy my cow is one more time. Yeah, where's Dandy Pants?
You all set, Dandy? What's up, Mama Cow? Hi, girl.
Happy cows make happy milk, kids. I got a lot of good letters. Thank you so much. And I'm going to get to all of them, because the fact you guys send me letters and support me in the physical reality of the P.O. box allows me to keep this stream going. And I think you guys see now that it's not easy to keep streams going, especially in times where narratives can be used. Because this is what the managers want. No guns, no diversity of media or live streams, everybody chipped, everybody compliant, no one having kids. Are they going to get that? No. Are they going to try? Yeah, they're going to constantly try. And it's like you have to constantly figure out the actual way around it. And why do they want that? Because they have to consolidate wealth yet again, like they always do. And people are going to be mad. And they're scared of people that realize, or they're scared of people, rightfully. I would be too. I completely understand why they do what they do. Because if a bunch of people with guns and giant communication networks and a rising demographic, and they aren't watching porn, if they want to freak out, it's very scary for the controllers, right? So what is the answer? The answer is to not be that. Because if you try to overthrow the controllers, you realize that you're alone again with all your addictions and your dependency. And then what do? You haven't set up anything. Like the controllers, and they don't really control anything. The managers is a much better name for them. They're not really that important in your life. Paul from Pockets talked about that, and I think that's 100% true. That especially the truth community, can fetishize the quote-unquote elites a lot and think about them all the time and all that. They don't make anything or do anything. They manage you. And your morality is dependent on how the system appears. And because of America's and the West and the world's broken morality, that's why you see all these psyops working so well. Like Egypt and Syria, these places have much higher morality. That's why this year they had maskless celebrations of Christmas. Where are you going, buddy? Hey, will you tell Mom to wait for me a little bit and I'll come with you? I'll be right. No. Can I meet you guys? Where are you going? Huh? Can you do 15 minutes? All right, just go to the store. I'll hit you up. All right, love. Dear Big Bear, in one of your recent streams, you said the slippery slope argument is not a logical fallacy. Well, according to my PhD in internet research from the first link on Google, you're wrong. However, I'm glad you said this because now Wikipedia will have another angle on a nigga. You're 100% right with your statement, and at many times I've thought this about the slippery slope fallacy not being a fallacy at all, but perhaps I never truly dared to question my lab-coded authorities. In fact, I first learned about it being a logical fallacy at Bible college. Go figure. Your hold-the-line thinking, as well as all your arguments against conceding, whether in the form of mass cuckery, drinking, whacking, LGBTQAI, PENIS, don't cuck, stemming from scissoring in a Subaru, ending up at the Neverland Ranch, contributes greatly to why I've been a loyal bear from when I first heard about you through Savanier and later through Dave Weiss. I've spread your message, connected with our community, take much of your advice, and now I owe you an apology. I wrote you a letter as a co-nigga in Christ. Okay, and 1 second, this is off camera. I respect that. And 1 second. I know it's not handwritten, but I haven't stopped looking up to you, and you've helped me come around a lot in many ways. And the fact that you relentlessly stand up for truth as well as your convictions is why this community grows and grows. Now more than ever, we need a leader, and we do look to you, Big Bear, as our leader. And while I agree with the sentiment, follow no man, even grab where Paul said, imitate me as I imitate Christ, and depending on views concerning the T word, follow Christ. In other words, you're doing great, kid. A couple updates from the front lines. I've been working on the laws of Beartaria and a lot of other legal gravy, including writing notices, motions, answers, counterclaims for bears, though full disclosure, I'm not practicing law or representing anyone, but potentially could be if one were to motion for the judge to enter an order appointing me as their special master. No, seriously. Also, by the way, I don't recommend getting in those legal battles unless you know what you're doing. I recommend understanding it, and if somebody comes at you to figure out a counter or a remedy, but I highly recommend people not actively go at anything legally. Oh, you are waiting for me? Okay, cool. All right. Lastly, for whatever reason, you've inspired me to drink a gallon of milk a day. Nick Fuentes is in my DMs looking very thirsty. El Baghdadi Bear. Why, thank you. That's very cool. I appreciate you, buddy. I'm going to bang through a couple of these. Maybe I'll do a stream tonight. Maybe I'll do a piano stream tonight where I read a bunch of mail. OB, just got the news. You were given the gift of being banned from DLive. This is when your time and time again grows stronger. As a 25-year-old, seeing these moments over the last few years has benefited my life to no end. I started listening way back when you were building your first fence. I've now received 2 Christmas cards and endless life lessons. I don't have a bear name because I play music or without during the stream, but I'm pretty thankful for the bear community, even though I don't interact. I would like to say a few moments that helped me the most was your overall ability to handle fear, showing what life can be, sharing marriage advice, and promoting the beauty of having children. I knew this 1038 episode, the day you were banned, was going to go back to what matters: God, family, good laughs, etc. Less political nonsense. Yeah, totally. Can you do a stream on forgiveness? Ooh, that's a great topic. I am deep diving into the frequency properties of what happens to a person when they forgive someone, of when they forgive themselves. Those actions are different, but share the same beautiful sync. Yeah, it's a great topic. Both amends and move forward. Both heal a person's energy field, bringing said person or the person closer to God. I'm not perfect at this, but as a man, I believe we should see the energy fields, not the man. See the pain, not the result. So maybe forgiving others shouldn't be needed because you understand what took place and why the sin or mistake was decided. Self-forgiveness is more complex. How does one inspire others to self-forgive? You grow, you build, you tell the truth, you stand, you love, laugh, cry, smile, and share. Yeah, totally. You have to really do it, and then you start, like, it's really organic and slow, but you start just not, I'm not going to say being mad at yourself, but you just stop assuming the worst. You're like, I don't know, you just naturally think everything's going to be okay. It's weird. Oh, and you're a teacher of self-forgiveness, which, as I wrote, is one of the stepping stones to God. Keep going, OB. When you grow, so does everything around you. When you heal, so does everything around you. We all have this ability, and that's the beauty of life. Don't say my name. No problem. All right. Okay, I'm going to just read this because this is, I'll do a piano stream tonight. I got a ton of letters, but I really want to, I like to go with my family on errands. I like to help Amy, with 3 kids. It's very helpful. But this is huge. Denmark, January 5th, stream 2032. Denmark Bear, writing on behalf of President Trump and the Q team. We've been watching you growing and gaining reach for a while, Owen. Your message was sound for a while. We've reached out to Denmark Bear, amongst others, long ago. He's been a brave digital soldier and a valuable asset. Then he joined the Bears. Somewhere along the way, we lost him. All he does now is talk about chickens, and he even deleted his Twitter account. The guy doesn't even seem capable to resubscribe to DLive. It's so hard to find good Q-tards these days, Owen. So instead, he's currently working as Epstein's handler in summer cabin somewhere on the west coast of Denmark. No outside comms, but for you, we'll make an exception. Consider this a Q drop of gravy with operational insight. Why is the new and very contagious COVID-19 stream named B117? B1 equals B1 bomber, the bone, 17 equals Q. So previous drops on the B2 sleuth bomber. Do you get the picture, Owen? Expand your thinking. Dude, I guarantee this is Bowler Bear. The deep state is concerned. All their comms are compromised and they know. They communicate in plain sight. We're coming in hot. We have it all. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. They're whacking. Do you feel the panic? Patriots. Patriots are now in control. Panic. Renegade has nowhere to run, and Evergreen will soon wither away. So just lean back, Owen, trust the plan, enjoy the show, and put on your full armor of God, Q and Q+. That's got to be Bowler Bear. I don't even know who that was. I don't know. I'm going to read. I'm going to do more streams tonight. I'm going to do a stream tonight with music. So that'll do it for now. I got a ton to read, but we'll do a hangout. Maybe I'll Instagram stream it too. Thank you so much for the letters. It's so huge when I open my P.O. box and people show me that another deplatforming that they'll still support. I met a couple bears at the feed store today. They're legends. All right. Well, just keep building and growing that community because you're never in the ISI run when you do that. You're watching these people like engaging in the script. Kind of like what that guy just said. It's like the more I get to platform, the more I see this stuff, the more you see what really matters. The more you see this, like this script, people engaging in it, the more they just get stuff taken from them. And we're in the blast radius, being kind of like truthers or whatever, that they will take more privileges and more social media and stuff like that. But all it does is free you. It's like taking away, your addictions, taking away things that don't matter. Focus on what matters. Focus on the good, the true, and the beautiful. Focus on, laughing and having a good day and really being in the moment, like with your cow or something. I've loved not having to do, not that I had to, but I'm a very Germanically timed person, 9:30 a.m. every day. The fact that I can have some flexibility in my mornings, like I I brought in all this grain today. I got all this new hay. I cleaned the barn, spent time with my family. You know, I feel awesome. And so we're just going to keep crushing. So P.O. Box 490, Sandpoint, Idaho, 83864, unauthorized.tv, BitChute.com/Owen Benjamin, Telegram.com/Owen Benjamin Comedy, at Owen Comedy on Instagram, and then you know, thegreatbeartrail.com, BeartariaTimes.com. Just stay connected with each other. Have more bear meetups. You know, work on your families. And I will see you guys soon. And when I'm back at DLive, I will be cleaner than I was today. It's going to be fun. You know, we can make humor out of me wanting to say things that I won't say. It'll be fun. Just trust me on this. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Be fruitful, multiply. Don't be afraid, as my son likes to say.